segment is sponsored by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. Join us in preserving and protecting Tennessee's wildlife. All right, welcome back. Hey, I want to give a big shout out to all the fine folks in Parsons, Tennessee. There's a bunch of them watching tonight, too, by the way. So just give a big shout out to a bunch of folks out
Parsons.
there. Hello to Parsons, Tennessee.
That's right.
What was it? What did they used to do at Hee-Haw? Salute.
Yeah, salute. We were just talking about Hee-Haw earlier.
Yeah, we were. We got Dr. Shawn Tyson on here with X Out Outdoors, and just a great product, I think, because it's a UV killer and a scent eliminator. But Dr. Shawn, I want to ask, like we were talking about, if you're just spraying it, my deal is you might miss something, like an elbow or, back here somewhere. And all it takes is a slight movement of a glowing object for that deer to spot it.
Sure.
What do you recommend? How do you recommend to apply it?
Well, the good news is that we have a detergent. First of all, so we have a detergent that has a UV killer in it. So first of all, you can wash your clothes, take care of most of it, and then what I recommend is before your hunt, spray your stuff down, let it dry overnight. Then when you get to the field, then you can spray it on there for your scent control. But at least you've already put down that UV scent, that UV control already all over your camouflage. You've gotten all those elbow areas, the back area. So, but with the combination of the spray and the detergent, you can take care of a lot of that stuff before you even get to the field.
But don't you also like backpacks, fanny packs, things like that? Take everything out of them, put them in the washing machine too?
If it's washable, right? So, But but it comes in backpacks. Spray it down with the spray. I also have a product. It's called Carbon Defense. That's a new one this year, and that one you can actually put your camouflage in and actually add carbons to your camouflage. So you can do that as well. So you can take some of your older garments that maybe were scent blockers or scent lock, and the carbons get full over time and they quit working. With the Carbon Defense, then you can actually add carbons to it. But you can also do that with your backpack and your fanny packs and things like that, so you can add more scent control to those bags that sometimes people neglect. They'll put them in their truck, right, and they'll drive around for a couple weeks with Hardy's bags and all their stinky boots in there from work, and so then they pull their bag out. Well, it's already sucked in all of those odors, and they go out to the stand, and all of a sudden now, right, they've sprayed everything else down, but they neglected their bags. So you definitely want to hit your bags. You want to hit your hats because you're sweating your hat a lot, so you want to spray your hats down, gloves, socks, underwear, wash everything that you can, before you get to the woods.
That's awesome. And I tell you, the only other thing is UV only visible on clothing and linens, or is UV paint oriented? I mean, can you get it off of paints? Or?
Well, most things that the hunters are going to be taking to the woods, clothing, blinds is a big one. I got guys using it for their blinds now. I know Brandon's using that for his blinds now. Those materials have kind of a shine to them already, so you definitely want to add some UV blocker to your blind, because when that deer comes through the woods and they see a big glowing box, right? I mean, they know something's wrong with that. So definitely want to spray your blinds down. Anything that's absorptive material you want to spray down.
That's what I was looking for. That's what I'm looking for. Like a bow shouldn't be, except maybe the handle, if you wrap it with something.
Or your wrist strap, right? So I mean, things like that. But when it comes to duck hunters, we definitely want to spray down our blind material. If it can absorb, then we want to spray down that material also.
That's a great deal right there. We got a caller on here. We got
Doug.
Doug, how can we help you tonight? I think Doug just left the building. Did I do something wrong?
I think you hung up on Doug, maybe.
No, I didn't. No, that was it.
No, I'm just joking.
I'm sorry,
Doug. See if you can call us back,
brother. We'll call back and we'll get you on here.
I made Doug mad.
I don't know what happened there.
Shawn said he upset him.
He upset him.
Could have been a dead downwind fan.
Yeah.
But in applying this stuff, the field spray, I would keep that in my backpack just so when I got to my stand, would you touch up once you get settled down, touch up a little bit?
Definitely. So my typical routine is I'll pre-treat all my stuff night before, pre-treat everything, especially for the UV component, right? I get out of the truck, I take my stuff out of my tote, right? Spray everything down, put it on. Then I'll get to my stand. In case I did some sweating, I'm definitely going to spray down those areas. My hat, stuff that I know that I got sweaty in. Then I'll put my stuff on, then go from there.
Let's see what. Doug, how can we help you tonight?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm just cutting you off, Doug, for some reason. I don't know. I'm sorry.
I got a question. I'm down here in Bon Aqua.
Yeah.
And been seeing a lot of deer piled up outside checking station stuff. And is it just too many deer and they've been loaded up in these dump trailers? Or has it got anything to do with this deer disease?
No, I'm going to tell you. Are you talking about in front of the check-in stations and in front of processors?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you what the deal is, because we've been talking about that for a week now. The guys and gals out there, if your processor's allowing you to throw them in a heap, I'd find me a new processor.
Time to
just
find
to
a new
be
one.
honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of why Flowers was shut down the other day, because they didn't have any more rats.
And we were honest enough to tell people that.
Yeah, but now he could too, in front of a check-in station. And I don't know about the one in Bon Aqua. I love Bon Aqua, by the way. It's where I took my biggest deer, was in Bon Aqua, Tennessee.
Yeah.
But anyhow, they could be doing a survey at that check-in station.
Yeah.
And so that would make the deer be there a little bit longer. They may have been doing TWRA could have been doing samples,
some jaw
at that station, and that would have had more than normal. But we don't necessarily have too many deer. We have a fantastic deer herd. I mean, we have plenty of them. But we're not necessarily overpopulated with them, though. And EHD did hit several counties pretty hard, but Hickman County wasn't one of them that got hit terribly hard.
No, but I think a little bit of every county got hit a little bit.
I mean,
just little spots and stuff.
Yeah, little pockets.
But that's nature's way of controlling.
It is
a population anyway.
And it always happens. It's happened for years.
It has for years and years.
People, you just hear more about it now because of social media and things like that. You know, you see all these pictures, and it seems like a lot, but when you look at it on a statewide level, I think it was 200 and something deer. When you break that down to the statewide level, it's not that bad. Some areas did get hit hard, but just in pockets.
But I will tell you this, Doug, as far as the processors are going, it's not a good idea to pile them up.
No, you don't want them out there too long.
You don't want them out there real long because the heat will build up in them. Especially the ones on the bottom. So I'm not going to leave mine. I'm just not. I'll go find somebody else, or I'll take it home and do it myself.
Yeah.
But one of the two. But I'm just
appreciate it.
Well, you're quite welcome, Doug. We
calling.
appreciate the phone call, brother. And but he's got a good point.
Yeah, he does. He does. Sometimes you can see them get stacked up, and they sit there too long.
They do.
And that's not a good situation. It's really not.
And if you see that, I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, I'd move on to another processor.
Yeah, and when you get one out of the woods, even if you're going to take it to the processor, unless you're just going to go, directly to the processor, get a couple bags of ice and go ahead and get that in the deer. The quicker you start cooling that meat, the better off you are. I mean,
I'm glad you brought that up.
So go ahead and do that as quick as you can, regardless.
Here's where a lot of people make mistakes, though. They put it inside the ribs and they leave it there. That's not what you need to cool off.
No, you want one there, but you need it on those hams.
But I take I throw that hind leg open and I stuff it down there and I close that hind leg down.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I want to keep.
A couple of bags is
big
really
muscles,
better.
Big muscles are heat.
So, yeah.
And who else? Mike, how can we help you tonight?
Hey, Hugh, I just thought you might want to know down here on Kentucky Lake. I know you're talking about a lot of hunting and everything, but I just thought you might want to slide down this way and help us catch some crappie and a few bass and catfish going on.
Yeah.
See, that's my kind of buddy right there.
Yeah, we were
Mike,
just talking
you're my
about that.
newest, bestest friend, brother.
We like eating crappie,
when you
don't
come to Waverly, and I told you my name was Cornbread.
That's right. That's cornbread right there. Cornbread, we need to go fishing.
Yes, sir. Hey, and I'm going to be hollering at you about something up what we were talking about doing up you guys' way in Nashville for the homeless.
Well, come on, brother. We'd love to have you up here, Mike.
Hey, I appreciate everything you guys do out there. And keep knocking it out for all the hunters in Tennessee.
We thank you, Mike. Appreciate it very
Have a
much.
good night.
He's been talking to me for years.
Yeah.
But he's right, man. The Kentucky is on fire.
Yeah, there was, when we were, like I say, we were in Land Between the Lakes hunting, and man, there was a lot of people down there fishing.
Dude.
And I tell you something else, Andy said one morning, he said, man, it'd be a good day to be a duck hunter, wouldn't it? Them boys shot ducks, I mean, all day long. Just one group after another group. Them ducks must have been flying this weekend like crazy.
And I'll tell you something else, too. Old Hickory hadn't done too bad, brother.
No, I've heard of some boys having some pretty good hunts.
And I'm going to give you a sleeper. Percy Priest is all of a sudden cracking back up.
No. Yeah, Priest. Yeah, there's some pretty good
There's
duck
some
hunting on
ducks
Priest.
over there.
Yeah, there is.
So, hey, we got to do our tip of the week.
We do.
This week's tip of the week is being brought to you by Davidson County Farmers Co-op, right there close to Briley Parkway and Dickerson Road. Go in there and see Miss Laura. She's the manager there. She will help you out in a heartbeat. A lot of sales going on. They got Christmas all over the place in there. All kinds of Christmas ideas. So what kind of tip do you have? Or do you want me to do?
Well, I'll give a little tip. I won't give away too much information. Andy will start sweating back here in the background. But, we were talking about this public land hunt.
Yeah.
And, anytime you get ready to go on a public land hunt, you sit there and talk to 10 people, what's all 10 of them say? Well, let's go as far from the road as we can go. Let's do this, that, and Well, one of the biggest keys to these big quota hunts is not so much hunting the deer sign. You've got to figure out where the deer are going to go when the hunters all get in the woods, because the deer sign pretty much goes out the window. So use maps and things like that. See if you can't figure out funnels that will take those deer from where they're going to be to where they're heading. And that's as that's as
and
far
Andy's
as I'll
back
take.
here doing all kinds of dances, telling you don't do it.
Yeah. So there's your real good tip.
That is a good tip.
Find out where they're heading. We got to take a break. We'll be back here in just a minute with some more Southern Woods and Waters.